You want me to just shovel it back there, behind the wall there, probably?
Well, I'm gonna just start basing.
Okay. Well, I'll get that grid on those blocks there and see about getting up another couple courses while you're working on that. Yep. I'll just follow behind you.
Now we've added GeoGrid, which is a reinforcement material to the main length of the retaining wall, but as we come into the radius, we no longer need the GeoGrid for strength. But we don't want to take it out because then the blocks could go down just a hair fraction and your eye may be drawn to that. So we throw in just enough GeoGrid underneath the blocks that they all stay true to level as we round out the wall. Oh, and I'm going to leave in some longer reviews that Sam likes to do on tools. Once that kid gets talking about tools, he doesn't shut up. So I'm going to leave a few of them in today, and you guys let me know what you think. As Blaine comes to the end of the wall, you'll see him measuring the grade. He's calculating where he can step the wall safely up and still have a course buried.
We got the Milwaukee cutoff saw out here today. I was looking and looking and looking. I probably had about an hour and a half into trying to find a charger for my most favoritist battery saw ever, the DeWalt. Thought I was losing my mind, and it ended up Stan had it up north at the cabin, which is cool. We still got it. I thought I was going crazy, but what I did do is grab the blade off of the DeWalt, because this thing is amazing. That DeWalt is just overall a great sub. So we're gonna throw the DeWalt blade on the Milwaukee. All right, we're gonna get our last bit of drain tile cut in here. So we usually go about 4.5 inches. Inches right here, that's good. That's good there. Go off the back, 4.5, go off the front. Just gonna be right about there. Okay. And then I like to start with the front. And what I'll do is I'll go and just like barely score my line here before I turn the water on. So you get that water on there and it will wash away your mark really quick. So I like to, like I said, I just like to put a little barely score along this front face here. And then it's easier, you get a nice straight line on there, then it's easier to kind of match the sides up like that. Well, at least it is, in my opinion. And then if any of you are in the market for a tape measure, this Milwaukee Auto Lock is pretty slick, just for the fact that it auto locks. It's the little things.
If you look closely, you'll see where we're building the brand new retaining wall is just a few feet in front of the old retaining wall. But that space between the two is filled up with 3/4 clear drainage aggregate, and that's reinforced with GeoGrid. Now, burying a retaining wall like this behind an existing retaining wall is actually an okay scenario when done under the right circumstances. One of those circumstances is if removing the old retaining wall jeopardizes a structure then look at the option of building a new wall in front of the old wall and tying them together. Now you can actually use this same process on timber retaining walls with caution. The timber wall will break down when it's buried, but the encapsulation process or burying it behind another retaining wall dramatically slows down how fast that wall will break down, and so you have to wait. Is the potential for that wall to slowly decay behind the existing wall worse than the process of entirely removing it and jeopardizing a structure? That's something that you have to weigh on an individual case-by-case basis.
Okay, so plan. Wayne's getting materials. I am going to cut in our next piece of drain tile, which is going to be right in here. We're stepping up on our corner right here, and then we're going to step up again right about here. So that's the first thing that we're going to work on, is get this base in, get the rest of this corner built, and then we're going to work on dialing in the grade behind the wall. And then if we have time left over at the end of the day, we're going to start getting the front of the wall kind of graded out more gooder.
The previous retaining wall was built too high, which then trapped the water between the swimming pool and the retaining wall, forcing everything to go down and through it. And without enough drainage aggregate, the wall eventually failed. What we're doing differently this time is adding a lot of extra drainage aggregate. We're going to add GeoGrid into the wall, which you can see going in place. And we're going to shorten the wall, forcing the water to not just go behind the wall, but it can also go over the face of the wall at the same time.
Today the homeowner added a couple of things. He wants us to hump some rock back there for him. He's going to have somebody else spread it around behind and in front of the wall. It's kind of going for a two-tone look. So the first bit of it is going to be the Fort Dodd White, which this stuff is so expensive. It's like it's like $83 or $85 a yard for that stuff. So got another load of that coming.
So it's my understanding the homeowner has access to some muscle that'll help him get that rock put in place, but our job is to get it at least close to the work zone, so we're going to stockpile it in the backyard for him.
That's a cute little guy. Oh, he brought, yeah, good stuff. Look at that. You're good. Here comes the boom. Boom. All right, we got our trench in for our edging. That trencher worked freaking great. Probably saved us like half a day, because we have been running over this area for like almost 3 weeks. So that would be a lot of shoveling. Alright guys, Blaine and I are all wrapped up with our wall. And if you'll remember, this wall was loosey-goosey, wavy-davy. It was tipping forward. The radiuses were separating. It had a good kind of wobble to it like that. There's a couple of problems that were causing that. First of all, it was irrigation all back here. The wall was built kind of shoddy, and then the grade behind the wall was way off. So it was essentially a ditch that was collecting all the water and not going anywhere except for behind the wall. So what we did is we actually brought the wall out almost 2 feet so we could get a good grade behind it to shed the water this way. Yeah, here's what we got.
Sweat equity, that's what this one is about. So we've gotten this job done where we've done most of the heavy lifting for the customer. The wall has been built, the grades have been established. Now we've even gone so far as to move the landscape rock that these guys want to put in place back into the work zone so they don't have to heft it all the way from the street into the backyard. But now these guys will be owning the rest of this project, and a lot of times I like to leave projects where the customer can do some of the finished work themselves, because then they feel like they've had an active role in their own landscaping job. Some customers like it, some don't. You guys tell me what you think in the comments down below, but that's our video for today. God bless, go get them, you guys. And now it's back to our regularly scheduled program where we go deeper on our job, do more voiceovers, and take you along for the ride. See you next time.